We continue to be in this weak La Niña that started in the fall of 2017. It's going strong, even though it's a weak La Niña. However, there are signs that it's starting to get close to the end of the event. And the main sign there is that the temperature of the water below the surface is starting to come back toward neutral. So we're losing our cold water volume below the surface. As warmer water moves in at depth from the west, it's undercutting the cooler water that's up closer to the surface. When that starts happening, it's usually an indication that we're going to lose the event in maybe 2 months or something like that. But for the present, it's still going. The outgoing long-wave radiation along the equator is very much indicative of a La Niña, with very dry conditions near the date line at the equator and wetter than normal farther west in the western part of the Pacific. And some of the atmospheric indicators are waffling a little bit, but the main one, the strength of the trade winds near the surface being above average, is still very much with us, especially in the western part of the basin. So the event is predicted to continue on through around the February through April season, something like that. And then it should weaken and become neutral from, say, the middle of the spring season onward toward the summer. And we won't say much about what happens after that because we have the ENSO predictability barrier in the spring. So basically, we're just confident that this event will keep going for another, say, 1 to 3 months. And therefore, our climate forecast follows suit with continuation of somewhat below average precipitation along the southern part of the U.S., above average in part of the north, and across the world, the typical effects with above average precipitation in northern South America, and in Indonesia, and especially the Philippines and certain parts of Africa. But we're getting into a season where the climate impacts of the event are not that strong, typically, except for northeastern Brazil, which should have above average precipitation. So we're going to watch the event wane, and then we'll see what happens as we get into the spring, to see what happens, especially below the surface, as an indicator of what may come later in 2018.